as when entered into the guest room, her eyeballs almost popped out of the socket. The room was decorated, the bed was decorated. The Victoria's Secret was on the side table. The custom made bouquet of was placed on the nightstand, and the bed was also decorated. One knew the mastermind behind the decoration was none other than Mrs. Min. She freaked out, thinking Taehyung had told her that he would come after being freshened up. She cleaned up as much as she could, and after putting those under the bed, she ultimately could sigh in relief and went to the washroom to freshen up. After about pretty good 5 minutes, one was almost done with her cleaning up rituals. A soft knock was heard at the door. When? I'm almost done. Please come in. Van softly answered as she looked at her rolls. Here are the clothes. These are still brand new. They knocked on the door of the washroom and offered her the clothes. Of course, he wanted to see his wife walking out of the washroom in towels, but he knew the first priority was her own. Van put on the t-shirt and shorts and walked out of the washroom. Come, have a seat. They gestured her to sit beside him, and Van did so. Show me the wounds. They got busy to check the kit box. Don't even think to fool me. I know exactly where you were wounded. I just need to check how deep those are. Van silently raised her hand and exposed her wounded knuckles. Wifey, I don't eat humans. Be comfortable. They chuckled and handed her a glass of water. To feel comfortable, as Van took the pillow and placed that over her lap, she found a few packets were lined up under the pillow. Her heart almost stopped beating. Her gaze was fixed on the sealed sachets. Her hands silently finger-walked towards those packets and hid them behind her sitting position. Of course, that was completely temporary, and that was the only place she thought they won't notice. She gradually raised her face and their eyes met. She was about to sit, making her spine straight, and unwillingly she scattered the packets. She felt her throat so dry that she couldn't even pronounce sorry. They had been thinking to tease her as he found nothing in his bedroom, but what he just saw in the guest room, he couldn't stop himself from smiling. The situation triggered the awkwardness between them. I swear there's nothing under the bed. Van thought he's gonna check under the bed. Indeed, there is nothing under the bed, but white? You like white? I like red, but I wanna see you in black. He pointed his finger to the couch and Van's jaw dropped. She didn't notice the arrangements Mrs. Min had done there. They didn't want to waste the golden opportunity to tease her. It's still brand new. Don't remove the tag. We will change it to another color. Van wanted to respond to his words, but the same moment she realized she had nowhere to go, and the person in front of her was none other than her rightful husband. Her knees got some minor scratches, might be she had sprained one of her ankles. She gulped down whatever she wanted to say. Show me your finger. They looked at the embarrassed Van and patted on her shoulder. We have lifetime to use those. Don't think about the expiry date. Van wanted to answer as he teased again, but as he completed his words, her cheeks blushed. Can you bring me the white box from the drawer? They suspected she might have sprained her ankle. Van nodded and slowly walked towards the drawer. She almost walked on her toes to avoid the pain. Have you sprained your ankle? Anyo? Van ignored but fumbled. They glared at her, who was trying to avoid any kind of eye contact with him. Shot first or the dressing? He asked her. Dressing? When answered in no time. They nodded and opened the white box he told her to bring from the drawer. Have some. They offered her a few drops of hand sanitizer. Way. She looked at him but didn't refuse the liquid. I have nobody to help me except you. You are the patient, yet you are my assistant, so. They softly shrugged. You know that I won't be able to touch anything after putting on the gloves. By the way, I have a good news for you. Please go on. One looked at her after sanitizing her palms. They took a piece of cotton and poured the rubbing alcohol and one sighed. I don't like that tingling cold sensation. They, while cleaning the wounds one by one. Yeah, now you will say that you don't like me, still you have married to me. They chuckled in a casual way, but of course one could feel there was something that wasn't voiced yet between them. If she didn't have the faith, she would never think to come to his place with all her belongings, but she didn't get the chance to utter that. The rubbing alcohol made her to gasp. After applying the ointment, they carefully bandaged her wounds one by one. While they was concentrating on her wounds, one was looking at they. Do you regret? They. No? When? I haven't told you the whole thing yet. And you asked? They chuckled. What's the whole thing? Please complete. You had to marry me. When hesitated a little. My answer is still the same. No. It might be compulsory for you, but it was an option for me. And I chose the option that led me to you. When they could finally shifted his eyes to one who was trying to hide her tears behind her wounded fingers. Don't put me in random situations. Think how would you feel if you were put in the same situation, they added. I wish someday I would make you feel how I'm feeling right now. It's overwhelming. The lines of smile was curved on one's face. I'm done with the dressing. It's time for the TT shot. Let me prepare it for you. They got up to put the equipments of dressing in the proper place. I will do it myself. When interrupted, they turned around and looked at her. Do you take drugs or you are diabetic? Of course, they knew Wen was trying to avoid it. No, I'm fine as per the last MedFit report, and as you can see, I'm still alive. It means I haven't taken drugs. Oppa would have killed me for sure if I had done something like that. One answered as she thought they wanted to know her medical history, but as she looked at his eyes, he was giving her, don't try to avoid the short look. I'm going to my room to prepare a bed for us. It would take about 10 minutes. I think I'm providing you enough time to have the shot. After almost 15 minutes, they knocked on the door of the guest room. Are you done with the shot? As expected, he found one at the same position. I just... She stammered. She thought they might be angry if he got to know that she didn't dare to inject the medicine. Come with me. I will help you. They wasn't angry at all. When blankly stared at him. You are not angry? No. This answer was small, but as he embraced Van, she could feel the warmth up there. Let's go to our room, wifey. She's supposed to be anxious at that moment, but for some reason she felt nothing, just blankly stared while following him. As she entered into Tay's bedroom, the small box on the nightstand caught her attention. The box would be bigger for a ring but smaller for a necklace. but for sure it was the jewelry box. Maybe he treasures something? Don't overthink. But last time there was nothing but his charging cables and all. It wasn't there, or it was there but I didn't notice. She was lost in her thoughts when they cleared his throat. When? Nay, when turned her face and looked at They. I have prepared something for you to celebrate the first night together as a couple, but I think this time we should choose the shot first. They took the sanitizer to disinfect his palms before putting on the gloves. Wen was sitting on the bed, tried her best to not look nervous. She was not nervous because of the shot, but the person who was preparing the shot. Wen didn't doubt their skills, but there was no obvious reason. Are you nervous? They asked while withdrawing the medicine from the syringe. Anu, she nervously answered. Take the alcohol swab and clean the site yourself. Quick, they instructed. Wen took the swab and cleaned the deltoid muscle site. A small chuckle escaped from Tay's lips as he didn't think Wen would be that obedient. Good. They tapped on the syringe to push the bubbles to the top before depressing the plunger to push the air bubbles out. Wen looked at Tay. He was dangerously close to her. She almost flinched as he touched her arm. Breathe, kitten. Tay's deep voice hit her eardrums as she stopped herself from breathing in the satisfying lavender scent. She breathed in deeply, and the next moment she felt him gently pressing the injection site with the alcohol swab under his left thumb. Rest of the fingers was maintaining the gripping system while the other hand was busy to dispose the syringe. After a few minutes, they put the alcohol swab into the bin and cleared his throat. Are you okay? No. Wen nodded her head like a doll, and that made Tay to curse her hairs. I have a gift for you. He took the box and gently placed on her lap. Have a look, kitten. Bracelet. Wen looked at Tay. It's beautiful. Thank you. I won't request you to put on this at this hour, but tomorrow we are going to somewhere. Put this on then. They tapped on her shoulder. Oh, where are we going and when? She asked. Obviously, she didn't want to work in OPD in the weekends. Work for me, but you can consider as a long drive. Very long drive. They walked to the other side of the bed, though the side of the bed where Wen was sitting. They was used to sleep on that side. We should sleep now. I want to give this marriage a chance, Taehyung. I really want. Wen spoke as they was about to switch off the lights. Me too, but why are you saying that? They asked in a normal tone. You have prepared 2 blankets, that's why. Wen hesitantly spoke. I prepared that in case one of us captures the whole blanket, and I think that one could be me. And you were wounded, though you didn't say, but I know the whole day was quite overtiring and painful for you. I don't want you to suffer in night too, they answered. Can I be the big spoon? Will you be my little spoon tonight? Wen asked and immediately got reply from Tae. You have bandages, kitten. Please? Wen laid down on the bed and extended her arm for Tae. I just gave an injection there. They couldn't believe that Wen would actually do that. Shots doesn't hurt. And you gave me the shot, so it's not hurting at all. Wen argued in a cute way. They carefully laid on the bed after switching off the lights. He put his head on the pillow and made sure her arm not to be pressed. Wen back hugged him with the free hand. Don't lie me. Tell me the truth. You were jealous when I was playing with Junior? They was about to break the back hug, and that made it clear. Sleep, Wen. That's all he could utter. Wen giggled. Taehyung Kim, you know, nobody forced me to marry you, and if it wasn't my stepfather, I would never be able to ask you to marry me. You have always been a safe zone for me, though we confronted only a few times. I know it's just attraction, but I would love to work hard. Will you give me the chances? I know I'm a little weird. Will you let me to be the big spoon every night for the rest of our life? When almost whispered these words. You don't want to be the little spoon? Yeah, I was jealous from the day one when I saw you sleeping with Junior, but will you be angry if I say I have shared my bed? You are not the first man. When tried to trigger his anger intentionally, don't dare to break the hug. Listen, I'm trying to make myself comfortable with the fact that you had a past. It's okay to have breakups, but you shouldn't say this so bluntly. They murmured in sleepy voice, and I'm literally enjoying the little spoon. I have shared my bed, that's all. But I never said I had breakups. Nobody has the authority to break my heart. I'm Kangwan after all. The tiredness was gradually overpowering when you are Mrs. Kim Wan, official spouse of Kim Tae-young. Now close your eyes, wifey. They placed a peck on her wrist before snuggling into her embrace.